Is this thing on? Are we recording? What's up, guys? I know this isn't like the usual videos, but I just wanted to sit down for a second, get to know you guys, and tell you guys a little bit about like my setup and how it helps me edit so efficiently so I can make more videos like this for you guys. So yeah, let's break it down. Okay, so when I first got into the filmmaking scene, I don't know what it was, but every single of the iconic YouTubers and filmmakers that I watched all had like their setup. And I always was shooting to like try to mimic some of their setups. Casey Neistat, one incredibly unique setup. You just can't replicate that, honestly. And then the one that I really liked was Sam Colder's setup. Of course, I mean, everyone tries to base their videos off of him or their setup off him. And his Toronto high-rise was the thing that gave me the idea for this, with like a city view and just a very clean setup. So when I started doing research though, I realized that the setups were not cheap by any means. And I was not going to spend that type of money on a setup. So I did my research. I got a pretty budget setup that looks pretty bang on. So let's get into my setup. So the first and most important thing I think about the setup is definitely the desk. Everything revolves around the desk. Even when I only had a laptop, I still was putting it on this desk. So this is a Smug standing desk. So it's not the priciest one, but it definitely does the job. And hold on, yeah, it does go up. It stands, and I have a lot of stuff plugged into here too, so it's definitely heavy. Okay, it definitely works. There we go. So we're back, and so many people would say that having a standing desk isn't necessary, but if you edit full time, you need a standing desk because you need to take breaks from sitting down and standing up. Standing up is too much pressure on your back and your knees and everything for a long period of time. And when I sit down, I typically end up hunching over, and it's not good for your posture, your neck, or any of that. So the standing desk is definitely essential. And for the price, $140, I mean, that's not bad at all for a desk. I know most desks are like a couple hundred plus, so that's pretty reasonable. The next thing that I got that was a pretty essential is a monitor. So I bought the LG 34-inch monitor. So I paid $330 for this monitor. A pretty decent monitor, but you don't have to spend even nearly as much as this to get a decent monitor. I don't think you should edit on a laptop full time, and that's what I was doing, and it was blowing out my vision, honestly. It was just too much of like the squinting and leaning really close up to my laptop. So the monitor allows you to keep your posture up and have a big enough display to see from even 3, 4, 5 feet back, and you're fine. And it's the same screen size when you're that far back as a laptop. And I know there's different size laptops too, but for me personally, a monitor has always been my go-to. And we're gonna get to my Mac setup at the end of the video because I didn't wanna make this around a Mac because you can use any Mac to power my setup. So it's more about the desk setup, and the Mac is another thing that I can add to it. So, okay, on to the next part, which might be one of the cheaper things I actually got for the desk setup, but I think it's one of my favorite things because of the way it makes this setup actually look, and it is the Vivo single monitor arm desk mount. This to me, in my opinion, is what makes my setup stand out from the rest, is because typically you'll have a monitor that is supported in the middle, right? And this monitor desk mount, I chose to make it all the way to the left side to make the rest of the monitor seem like it's floating, which in my opinion just looks so good. I don't know what it is. The fact that I can put my arm underneath it, oh, so good. But yes, let's get on to more of the arm mounts that I have for this desk, because this is not the only one. Okay, so the next thing I have is the desk lamp. And this one, there's so many different desk lamps you can get, but I wanted one specifically that would mount to the desk. I'm a person that doesn't like to use a lot of artificial light, so I like to have very moody lights on all the time. So this is a light that I typically keep on whenever I'm editing super late at night. And in general, I think it looks and adds a little bit to the actual design of the desk setup. So yeah, it definitely looks good. One more thing I actually just got, and it is what I'm using right now for the monitor. It is so handy, and even if you're not gonna use it to monitor your thing, I know a lot of the other cameras have flip out LCD screens. I typically won't even use this for a monitor, but I wanted to show you guys how handy it is for any other camera you want to actually hook this up to. And typically I'll just use it to put it there. So if I get any notifications, it'll pop up as I'm editing. So I won't have to have my phone in my hand. I can keep it on the actual stand. And of course, because I FaceTime my friends and I want them to have a good view of me, of course, from anywhere in my apartment. So the stand is always handy and I think it looks good. My phone wallpaper matches my desktop wallpaper. So, I mean, slide flex-ish, you know, I kind of like how they look together. But let's get on to things you guys actually care about. Okay, so I know Logitech is like one of like the biggest brands when it comes to like keyboards, mouses, a lot of the desk tech, right? So of course, you know, me being basic, I got the Logitech keypad, which in my opinion is not basic. I think it stands out and it's the more minimalist one. So it's like a mini version. So it's the Logitech MX Keys, mini minimalist wireless illuminated keyboard, compact Bluetooth USB. Okay, there's too many names with this. It's a mini keypad from Logitech, basically. And it does a job just fine. I love the way the keys actually type. I'll go to my MacBook and it's so weird when you get used to typing on this and you go to your MacBook, it does not have the same key feeling. And I prefer this. I love how smooth the keys are. For the mouse, I got the Logitech MX Master 3S, wireless performance mouse with ultra fast scrolling, Acro AK DPS tracking glass and clicks. Yeah, it's a great mouse. It really is. I had a couple of problems with it when I was first getting it, but after I kind of got through those little bugs, you quickly realize any Bluetooth mouse isn't gonna be on a dime because it has to obviously get right back to your computer. But for not being plugged in, they're both so quick, so seamless, and I think it definitely adds to the whole setup in a very big way. And they're sitting on a desk trackpad. You can type in anything of like desk leather trackpad. This one that I found is from Neckmit, and you can find them anywhere. It doesn't have to be this exact brand that I'm linking down below, but this brand looked really seamless. I thought I would add a little bit more of traction for my stuff and just keep things clean, organized, straight to the point. Yeah, so that is it for my desk setup. I mean, there's nothing else I'm really gonna be putting in there. I have a camera that I typically can put on, but I don't use it often, and nor would I recommend it. It's so cheap, and it actually is a Logitech too, but I don't typically keep that on my setup. I don't like the look of it. I would just FaceTime on my Mac or my phone or any other like device in that sense. So I know you guys are gonna be wondering what is powering this whole setup, right? Of course, I'm currently on the MacBook 14-inch M2 Max, and yes, this laptop was not cheap whatsoever, but it's one of those things that no, I'm not including in this budget, but you shouldn't, because I have a cheaper MacBook over there that I did all of my old editing off of. All of my first videos or with that MacBook, and even though it does not keep up for what I'm doing right now, back then it was perfect. I could finish a bunch of videos. Did I have to clear it off a lot more? Of course, yes. But that just goes to show that this setup does not have to be the max you can possibly put into a setup. All this stuff is pretty budget friendly. You could probably find it even cheaper if you really, really looked. And that MacBook could run this whole setup too. And even if I include that in here, it'd be close to right about that $1,000 budget in general. So yeah, that just shows you can make a setup literally out of anything. It does not have to be the most crazy products. And it looks awesome in my opinion. So, I mean, that's it. I'm not gonna lie, this setup to me means a lot more than it might seem to you guys. Like, okay, well, money's no option, you just buy whatever. But it's never been like that. Trust me when I say that. When I first got in the industry and I was making videos, I mean, you can ask my sister, I lived with her for a period of time, and she'd come home every single day from work and she'd see me on the couch in the same spot, editing on my small 13-inch MacBook, making videos. I did not care about the setup. I did not care about my environment. All I cared about was making videos. This is just a luxury at this point. I love to be able to sit down and have a very seamless design where my MacBook's put away, my hard drives are underneath my desk, everything is completely seamless. It took a long time, and it means a lot to have it this cleaned up, polished off, and in this state. It means so much to me, and it shows how much progression I have made over the years. So please, if this video helped you in any way, please leave a like, comment, subscribe. I'd really appreciate it. And let me know if you have any questions about stuff that maybe I grazed over too much. And if you guys have your own desk setups, please share them with me, tag me. I would love to see what you guys do. And if you guys get any of these products, let me know. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you in the next vid. And yeah, you're gonna see a lot more of this desk setup in the future videos because I have some other ideas coming. So yeah, I'll see you guys soon. Dude, oh my God, I want a pizza right now. I want a pizza. I want a pizza.